Hi everyone, my name is Glenn, and I'll be your instructor for the next 16 weeks in this course. I want to take a few minutes and give a quick tour of our Brightspace classroom. Now, this isn't intended to replace the Brightspace user training that you will have taken if you haven't taken it already. That explains the overall functioning of our LMS. Rather, this is more of a 5-cent tour of how our classrooms are generally structured with most of the courses in the CIS department. When you first log into Brightspace, you're going to land in the course homepage. Now, this is a brand new course getting ready to start the semester in a couple days, so there's not a whole lot in it yet, but this will very quickly populate. Your biggest point of interest right here will be the announcements tab. I post announcements at least a couple times a week, and every announcement will appear in this box right here. You'll also get these via email once you complete the Subscribe to Brightspace Announcements lab in week 1. For most of the time, you'll be spending your time in the Content tab. Now, a few things of interest here we want to take a look at. All of our course material is located under Course Content, and it's broken up into 16 weekly subfolders, meaning there's a subfolder for every week of the course. There's also a couple of folders up here that we want to take a look at, not the least of which is going to be the syllabus folder. Now, this is a college course, and every college course has a course syllabus. It goes through and describes the rules of the class, what we're going to be talking about, usually a schedule of what the course is going to be, textbook information, grading information, and so forth. You need to know where to find this, because in week 1, you'll be taking a syllabus quiz, and you'll need to reference this document to be able to complete it. A little further down, we see the Welcome Start Here folder, and this should be your next stop for a brand new course. And really, it's a folder that has a bunch of links. They're informational links. So it's things about course information, introduction pages, textbook information. If you have any questions about the textbook, you got to find this right here. Links to things like the SMCC online bookstore, the weekly schedule, which is simply a little tool that helps us keep track of where we are in a given week, in a given month throughout the semester. And a bunch of links to things like technology checks, links to receiving help from Brightspace or technical support, and so forth. Of course, where the action really is under course content. We've already said this is broken out into 16 submodules, and the submodules are locked. Our academic week runs from Sunday through Saturday. So every Sunday, at 12:01 a.m., that week's module will unlock and you'll be able to access the content within it. This means that all work for a given week is due by the following Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Each weekly submodule is structured more or less the same. It's going to include some module introductory information, talking about what we're going to be discussing that week, a checklist telling you everything you need to complete for that week. If it's not in this list, it's not something you have to do. And this is indeed a checklist. So as you've finished items, you just check them off. Notice your completion bar here increases. Once you've checked everything off and you get 100%, you've done the work for that week. And then depending on the course, or depending on the specific week of a course, there will be between 1 to 3 submodules within the weekly module. Lecture material contains all the stuff that you're going to be studying aside from any reading assignments from a textbook. So this can be things like documents, it can be links to resources out on the internet, and most commonly, videos. Now, we make every effort to keep these videos as short as practical, but you really do need to watch them. Most contain information you're not going to find anywhere else in the course material, but are required to know. The nice thing is most of these are YouTube videos, and you can speed up their playback. I recommend playing most of them actually at about 1.5 times speed. That tends to make it a bit quicker to watch, but they're still very understandable. And then there's an assignments module. Some courses, this is called a to-do module. This is where all the work you need to get done for that given week is. Right? So for instance, the syllabus quiz that we discussed earlier. Now the syllabus quiz, things like this, quizzes, exams, these are taken within Brightspace. When you click on that link, you'll be taken to the quiz page where you'll actually complete the quiz itself. And you'll go through and answer the questions, move on to the next page. When you've completed all the questions, you hit the Submit Quiz button. When you do this, Brightspace will grade this automatically and immediately and place the grade in the Brightspace gradebook, which we'll look at here shortly. Other assignments require you to submit something. So for instance, the Subscribe to Brightspace Announcements lab has an instructional video, which you'll want to watch, Sometimes there's always lab instructions. Sometimes they're written, sometimes they're in the form of a video. You got to perform whatever it is that the lab asks you to do and then submit something to this assignment. And I say submit something because it's going to vary depending on the assignment. In this case, you're simply going to submit a screenshot. In other cases, it might be a PDF document. It might be a Word document. It may be a packet tracer file, whatever. The instructions will tell you what you need to submit. To submit, simply grab your submission, drag it over, and drop it under the submissions box. You can put in any comments in here that you wish, hit the submit button, and then these will go to the Brightspace gradebook as an ungraded item until I grade them. And finally, we have a submodule for our weekly discussion topic. Some courses, the discussions will be under the assignments or to-do module. Regardless, discussions are always done the same way. You'll be asked a question or asked for an opinion about something or several items, and you'll be required to post, at a minimum, a primary post addressing that particular topic, and over the course of the week, at least 2 responses to other students' posts. Most courses require a 24-hour gap between the primary post and the secondary post. So you'll want to start early on the week on this. Also, you won't be able to see anyone else's post until you make your first primary post. There's also a tab here for direct access to assignments, discussion topics, quizzes. And this is great, actually, if you want to find a specific item quickly, right? You want to find that syllabus quiz and get to it quickly. For the most part, however, I recommend you access the course content and assignments through the course content folder and the weekly submodule, because this will tell you everything you need for that week right there. There's no ambiguity about it. This is what you need to do, for instance, in week 1. There's a communications tab, which there is an email function in here, which does work, although I strongly suggest just using the regular SMCC email. It makes it easier for me to reply to you. Also, for courses with Zoom meetings, this link will take you to all scheduled Zoom links or Zoom sessions for the entire semester. And of course, access to the gradebook. This is the gradebook for this class, and it's live. So as you complete items such as quizzes and exams that are graded automatically by Brightspace, those grades will automatically appear in here as soon as you submit the test. For graded assignments, they will appear as ungraded assignments until I grade them and assign them a grade, and that grade will appear here. Your overall grade is your current grade in the class at any given moment. Again, this is live, but it does change very quickly, actually, as more assignments get graded and added into the gradebook. If you're new to Brightspace or new to taking classes in the Computer and Information Science department, I encourage you, spend some time out here and explore around a little bit. Get to know this so that navigating Brightspace in our classroom isn't an issue for you when we're actually doing coursework. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and I will see you in class.